If I was going to start a business brand new in 2023 and couldn't have my existing business or even create an offshoot of my existing business, what would I do? Where would I go? Well, the first thing I do is I'd look at the market. What are the biggest problems people are facing? What are people willing to spend money to fix? So I would look at an existing market and think, what could I bring to this market that is new? What could I offer that's different? You know, I met somebody called Mickey, an amazing woman who looked at period products and created period pants. And it's just a genius. She looked at an existing market and she just saw what wasn't working. Being a woman and having periods helped her a great deal. And she created period pants. Amazing product. I met this girl, Anastasia, who became a millionaire from creating products just for eyebrows. So if you're sitting home thinking, you know, I don't have a degree, I haven't been to business college. Some of the smartest, most successful people now have just looked around and had an idea, looked around at what people want, what are people looking for, what do people need. So you need to find a market, find a unique value in that market, and then put a spin on it. So let's look at Dyson. James Dyson is the 7th richest person in the UK. He noticed his wife changing the bag and all the dust, going, well, this is crazy. You vacuum to hoover up the dust and all the dust is coming out as you switch the bag. And he created bagless vacuum cleaners. He also created a hairdryer that I paid $500 for. He takes existing things that we need, hoovers, hairdryers, fans, and he makes them so much better. So look at the market, look at what's out there, what could you change, upgrade, update, what could you add value to, what could you put a unique spin on? How could you take something existing and make it better, which is kind of what Netflix did, it's kind of what Amazon has done. So you don't have to be revolutionary, you can be evolutionary. Look at the market. Look at what's working, but also look at what is not working. Look at education. How many kids are now being homeschooled? And we need something different in education. We need something revolutionary. So look at maybe what you could do there. Could you add something to the current education system, possibly in private schools before state? There's now a business to rent clothes, to rent bags. It's now okay to rent your wedding dress. And that's all because someone looked at the market and thought, there's an opportunity there. I can create my own idea, or I can look at someone else's idea and go, hey, I could make that even better than it already is. And if I was starting a business today, I would go into the weight loss industry. I'd look around and think, wow, here we are in 2023, more gyms, more diet information, more information on food packaging than ever before. And yet we have more overweight people than ever before. We have overweight children, overweight babies. What is going on? What we have on offer is not working. Diets do not work. In fact, they mess you up. Going to the gym is great, but that's not enough if you're eating badly. So I would enter that market making content. It doesn't cost much to make content. I haven't yet bought stock or office space or got staff. I would just start making content, making videos, going on TikTok, going onto Instagram, and I'd make content about why is it not working. I'd start to build an audience. As I build an audience, I'm building my brand. The bigger my audience, the bigger my brand, and then I can start creating my brand, selling my brand to my audience. I'd be looking at what I could offer people. What do people need? What do they want? And remember, anything that you want may require you to learn something new. It's not enough to just create content. You have to know how to edit that content. You might have to do some tutorials and learn, or pay someone to come along and teach you how to edit content, how to make that content stand out, how to make it jump out from the competition. So for me, if I was going into the weight loss business, in fact, I've created a program called Dietless Life, but it's very different. It's not a product that goes into stores, it's a book, it's a course, it's online, people come and join it. Overeating is an emotional issue, and people have this belief that it's emotional, but we can fix it with diet and exercise, going to the gym. You can't fix an emotional problem with logic. You have to find a different emotion, a better emotion. So again, I'd be looking at content, videos, talking to people, inviting them to join a membership, giving them free content. In fact, I learned something amazing, that if you do free content for 10 days on Facebook, it must be good, it must be amazing, so that people think, wow, this is good. You're giving me all this stuff completely free. There's so much more to come. So for me, creating video content is a good thing, because all I'm paying for is an editor. I can do it in my home. I don't need a studio. I'm always worried about stock, having to buy products and put them in a shop and have the shops on, because the margins are so low. If you're creating protein bars or shakes, profit margins are minute until you become massive. So if you're a small one-woman, one-man band, you want to create something that doesn't have that low profit margin, like content. I know of a therapist in the UK. She's done amazingly well. She deserves all her success. She just went on TikTok and did content, just a few minutes a day. And then she wrote an amazing book and it has blown up. But she used TikTok. She used only TikTok to get her name out, to get her message, to share amazing content, valuable content, totally free. And then everybody wanted to buy her book because the content she gave free on TikTok was incredible. There are authors who give a whole chapter of their book away and then another chapter until people say, oh, I need all the chapters, now I'm going to buy the entire book. You've got to be innovative, you've got to be brave, you've got to take a leap of faith. Sometimes the only risk in life is not to take the risk. There is nothing worse than saying, hey, I had an idea, I worked on it, I thought of it, but I was too nervous to take it to market. And look, someone else has had the same idea as me and they've done so well. And I held back. Of course you're going to hold back when you're scared of losing all your money. But we're not talking about buying a shop, buying inventory, buying stock and employing staff. We're talking about something different, where you can have an idea, start to build content, use all the social media platforms, get known, get an audience, get a bigger audience, and then create your brand. This is the new way to do business. The old way is, hey, I'm going to open a restaurant, open a boutique, open a health food, open a shop. Not only do you have to work a lot of hours if you have a physical shop, you've got to buy all that stock, pay all your staff. And now today we're so lucky. We can simply get some amazing content, start our own blog, create something, and then get people to join us. And then when you have a bigger audience, you can start selling a product that you believe in, that your audience already like. This is a new way of working. This is what influencers are doing all over the world. They just become a little influencer, then bigger and bigger, and then they get a massive audience, and then they monetize it. When you have an audience, brands will come and pay you to share their brand with your audience. So think right now, what could I do to interest an audience? What could I do or sell or teach or give away? How can I build an audience, make my audience bigger and bigger? Look at Mumsnet and NetMums, very clever. Mothers got together, created an audience, and then they monetized it. So think of a message that you could share in an area that you're already interested in and start growing your audience. Grow your audience at the same time as you're growing your brand. Grow your audience and your brand together, and then sell your brand to your audience because they already believe in you. They already see you as having something of immense value to offer. And one of the things you must do when you're creating a business is hire someone in finance to work out the margins, to work out the strategy, to work out how long it will take for this business to turn a profit. Make sure you're very clear how long it will take you to make a profit and what you will have to do and how long you will have to work. And can you actually even afford that? Are you creating this business for you because you want something that gives you passion? Are you creating this business because you're altruistic and see the market needs it? What is your motivation? What's your purpose? Be very clear, why are you creating a business? And let me quickly take you through a 3-step process to make it work. And step 1 is the most important step. The easiest. It doesn't cost anything. You have to sit down on your own and say every day, I'm worth it, I'm worth it, I'm worth it, I'm worthy of this success. I deserve my product to take off and become massive. I am worthy of having people love my product, love me, believe in it, invest in it. And if when you're doing that, you feel a bit weird, your tummy feels weird, you feel a bit sick, you get that voice going, oh, it's never going to work, you got to sit with it. The mind learns by repetition. Keep saying, I have the mindset for success. I have the mindset, the drive, the desire, the ambition, the ideas that I can monetize. because 80% of your success comes down to this, having a success mindset. You've got to do that every day, many times a day for at least 4 to 6 weeks until you're wiring in, firing in, coding in, yeah, I have the mindset for success. And then you can go on to step 2. Do a lot of research, look around, look at what you want. Imagine you're looking at what you want with crystal clear vision, with X-ray specs. I'm looking at what I want. I'm looking over it, around it, through it. And as I look and look again and look again, I'm beginning to see, oh yeah, I'm beginning to see what I really, really want. Because as you see what you want, you see something else, which is step 3, what you have to do to get what you want, what you have to learn or become or acquire or study, what else you have to do to get what you want. And that's where step 1 comes in, because if you don't work on the mindset, you won't do what you have to do. I got to ask for funding. I've got to find joint venture partners. I've got to go out and tell people about my product. I've got to go out and get on shows like Shark Tank or Dragon's Den or anything like that. But you can't do step 3 if you haven't done step 1. So you might say, hey, I want to be a writer. That's easy. I can sit home and write. Well, it is easy. The hard bit is all the work you do to get that book to sell. The articles you have to write, the magazines you need to get into, the radio shows you have to turn up to. You have to learn to be a speaker. So writing a book is a process. Let's go through it. The first step, I deserve to write a book. My book deserves to be a massive seller. I have a message and I'm going to take that to market. I'm worth it. I deserve it. Sit with that for a long time, which will help you do step 2, write the book. Very solitary to write a book, but you've got to do it. Sit down and write. It's called butt on seat. Just write and write and write. But when you're writing, keep looking at, okay, I've written a book, but how do I make it sell? Look over that, look around it, look at other people who are selling books, and then you'll see what you have to do. You have to learn to be a speaker. You have to learn marketing. You have to Google what is selling, what kind of covers, what kind of titles. And then you'll be able to do step 3, the extra work to make your book sell. If you've done step 1, got that mindset, done step 2, written the book. But step 3, John Gray, who I know very well, said he spent more time keeping his books a bestseller than he ever spent writing them. Writing a book is not the hard part. Getting that book to sell, keeping it selling is the hard part. But if you want it enough, you'll do it. So use that 3-step process for anything. Get the mindset first, do the work second, and then do the other work you have to do to make your product sell third. You'll do all of those things. You can't do one without the other. Mindset, do the work, do the other work to make the work you've done sell. Check out my next video here.